Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting game of girls high school varsity volleyball here on CPHS 6. I'm Carl Staffhorse, and just underway tonight's matchup between the Port Huron Northern Huskies and the visiting Marysville Vikings. Just underway, and Huskies come out strong with the first point. It's senior night. We'll talk about the seniors a little bit later. Right now, serving in a 1-0 lead, one of our seniors, Brennan Murphy. So Murphy serving against the Vikings. Delco trying to power it down up the middle, and Vikings unable to control that one. Another point for the Huskies. So Murphy again with the serve. That one sails long. Peyton Husson with the attempt. Huskies wise to let it go and now have a 3-0 lead. Murphy, nice long serve. Marysville not gonna have a good strike of this. It's gonna be played over a lot of time for the Huskies, to set it up. Eventually played over by Yarger, and it will reach the floor. So Huskies rolling here early, 4-0. Murphy still serving, nice low serve, and again, Vikings having a hard time dealing with that. Plenty of time for Huskies to set up. That time they accidentally bumped that one over. Great save by Murphy, keeping it alive, trying to power it. Huge block at the net. Vikings do have some height there. Great play there. That was Jillian Roosh, one of the captains, one of the senior captains. And eventually played and out of bounds. So that point, a long point, awarded to the Vikings. Hannah Delore serving. Right rally though. A lot of times momentum stays with the team after winning one of those long rallies. Murphy trying to get down to get that one, unable to. Second point for the Vikings. So Delore with the serve. Popped up a little too far. Gonna have to dig this one out of the net. Tough angle. Got to watch out for the stick, and didn't have a really good strike on it. And it's going to go out of bounds. Nice try by Murphy. That one nice low serve, heads up play by Roberts to let it go. So it'll be a point for the Huskies as we await Brooke Bowerman's serve. Huskies lead 5-4, game one. Again, games are up to 25, win by 2. That one missed hit at the net by Husson. And sent right down into the net. Another point for the Huskies. Bowerman, the sophomore, and again, pretty far back serve, decided to play it with Shannon Curley. I think Bowerman's doing a good job kind of trying to paint that line where it would be, and Vikings not really sure whether to play that ball or not. Nice low, again struggling, just have to set it over. A lot of time for the Huskies to set up. That one deflected at the net, still powered over by Yarger. That one got blocked, never came back. Nice set by Bowerman and Felko. That one struck deflected at the net by Felko. And eventually be set over. And the Tomlinson, the Felko going up strong, and collision at the net, and someone made contact, and we're going to have a net foul. And Coach Langloff is upset. We're going to have a call against the Huskies. So it's going to be a point for the Vikings. Now it's going to be Velko with the serve. Huskies still lead 7-4. Tomlinson, a nice play to punt. Knocked that one over. That one struck hard again up the middle by Husson, and it will travel long. We see the score there, 8-4 in favor of the Huskies. It will be Heidi Wilson to serve now. Nice drop shot. There for recovery was Murphy. That one played at the net by Felko and Rankin. I believe Rankin's the last one that got the hand on it, rolling around the rim of the net. Nice job by the Huskies to put that one back in. Great serve, unable to handle it. Heidi Wilson serving well. So 10-4, Huskies got to be happy with this start. Marysville actually has a big cheering section. A team that travels well. There's even a hockey helmet out there. That one inbounds, and Coach Welser for the Vikings upset, but it will be another point for the Huskies. They continue to roll 11-4 here, game number 1. And a 4-hit violation. A point again for the Huskies, and the Huskies are happy with how they're playing now. Would expect to see a timeout from Marysville pretty soon, especially if they cannot stop this run. It is 12-4. The fans chanting again. Marysville known for volleyball for quite a while. Falco tried to power that one down. It is long, and the serve will go back to Marysville. So now we'll see Caitlin May serving. And now we got dueling student sections going back and forth. And driving all over the place for that, but unable to really pick it up clean from the ground. And back to the Huskies. And it's going to be their captain, and their captain's Riley Felko. And the seniors. Big block of the net. Tomlinson and Rankin were there. And that one's going to go into the bench. Jillian Roosh was trying to get there. But unable to. So now the Husky fans making some noise during the Viking serve. That's it, gets it back to her. The miscommunication on the Viking sideline. On the Viking side, excuse me. And Murphy with another big point. Haley Roberts now serving. Went up strong and trying to dig that one out. Great effort by Roosh, but nice power down by May. Big point for the Vikings. And that one was going to be tough. Originally on the serve was played by Roosh. Tried to set it. Didn't really get enough loft under it, and unable for her teammates really to capitalize on it. A lot better that time, and this time powered down by Murphy. Keeping it alive, they'll try to poke it over. It's all the defense at the net. Rankin and Bowerman were there. They tried to loft it over instead. And that results into the net, and another point for the Huskies. So rolling now, 15-8. That deflected at the net by Murphy, and Bowerman able to come down with it after the rejection, but unable to get that ball back in the air. Another point for the Vikings as they're awaiting the substitutions right now. Bastinelli, the captain for the Vikings, will serve now. A senior on this team, and way over there in the corner. Gonna get an angle on that serve. Nice set by Arman up to Murphy, who pokes it over. Nice went with the touch that time. And Huskies now lead 16-9. We back to Murphy to serve. And deflected at the net by Falco and Bowerman. And powered down by Rankin. Marysville was there for the block, but Falco just powered that ball down. And now a "Let's Go Vikings" chant in the Port Huron Northern Gym. I can't imagine that's going to go unretaliated for long. A lot of Husky fans here tonight. They know how much this is a big game, and touch there by Falco. Thought that was going to fall. Nice recovery by the Vikings. That time into the net and exploding from the other side. The Viking fans all coming out in different jerseys. Their own traveling show. All different sports and everything. Definitely a different entourage that Marysville's brought with them. Nice play at the net by Husson. And able to power it over. A couple nice plays in a row. Another point for Marysville. They now trail by 6. Score 17-11. Still in favor of the Huskies. Game 1. Hannah Delore is actually a freshman serving. And the serve goes wide. This might Vikings are trying to get angles on these serves. Serving some pretty far outside. Huskies pretty much line up right in the back there. And serve it straight on. They add the angle. He had another variable. And nice serve and well played by the Vikings. Able to power that down again. Peyton Husson. And obviously she's one of the tallest players out on the court. Clearly want her right in front. And she's going to be battling against Rankin and Falco and a couple of the Huskies tonight. Again, powering it down, and the Vikings seem like they're hitting a little bit of a groove now. So Velco will serve. Now we're seeing the Husky fans getting into it, trying to get their team back competing. Still got the lead, and that one once again put down. Peyton Husson, she struggled early and ascended quite a few long, definitely hitting the ball well now. We warmed up. It's gonna be a ball for Falco, sets it over. Once again, the plays to Husson. This time, try to do some touch. Black by Murphy. Husson goes up, and when she really elevates at the net, it's not really much that Huskies can do trying to go up for the block, but hasn't been all that effective last couple of points. She's really a difference maker out there for the Vikings. As we see the Viking huddle there. Ryan Welser in suit, head coach. And then we see the score 18-15, so this was a Northern timeout, and Langoff obviously happy with his team, how they started, and they've been reeling a little bit since, and I think it's just that finally the Vikings have kind of hit their stride. And there we see the student section, and that is actually the Marysville student section. They all on that side of the gym. But as you notice, pretty much all wearing some type of jersey. You see a Romo jersey in there, Matt Ryan, some Viking jerseys, all different ones. So something going on there. And we see even the hockey helmet, 2 of them now. So an interesting cheer section to bring with you, but both teams getting into it. Cheer section for the Huskies on the same side of me, and they will not be outdone by the visiting Vikings. So up for Tomlinson, blocked at the net. Good job recovery. And poked over Husson. Popped up Tomlinson. Murphy's gonna strike this. Going away from the net, touched by the Vikings, so it will fall down and it will be a Husky point. So it's nice to get a point like that right out of the timeout. Coach Langoff trying to just settle the team down, I'm sure. Knowing that this first game's pretty crucial. Especially with such a hot start, you'd hate to let this one slip away. You know this is a team that's gonna play, and once again, setting up for Peyton Husson. It's just putting that one over the net. She'll sub out now, so a little bit of a break for the Vikings. But now only 3 points away. That serve in the net, and that will help the Husky cause. Served by Caitlin May. Now we'll go back to Riley Felco. 5 points away from victory, though. Huskies 20. Marysville Vikings 16. Big blocker in that. Rankin was there. There with Tomlinson. Bowerman set, got it up for Murphy. Powered that one down. I don't know if that was going to stay in bounds. Vikings played it. Little break for the Huskies. Once again, Murphy will sky up. That one deflected. That would have kept it in bounds. And this time, powered down by the captain, Allie Bastinelli, senior captain, one of the other players that we expect to see Marysville play on the net tonight. So Morgan now with the serve. Nice play for Rankin. Nice job keeping that alive. That's Bailey Bowes keeping that rally alive. And once again, a little dig there, unable to keep it away from the official though, and it will be a point for the Huskies. They now lead 21-17. See Coach Langoff there talking to the server. Haley Roberts, one of the 4 seniors, playing their last home game tonight on senior night. And once again, powered down. Played a little bit of a break with Husson off the court, but Massinelli's taken right over up front. So a lot of depth on this Viking team. Huskies are gonna have their handful tonight. Hands full. But they definitely have the athleticism and the size to compete with them. Great dig by Felco. Went right back over, diving to even get to that ball was Roberts. Nice choice for the touch shot by the Vikings. That one sent long. I believe that one struck by Rankin. And now, just like that, Vikings are serving to tie this one up. Huskies lead 21-20. Nice play for Rankin. And powered it down. And then we got a 4 hits violation. And blowing up on the sideline is the coach for Marysville. Coach Welser's very upset. And talking to the official now. Signal from we'll have the captain come over and talk to the head coach right now. Trying to explain the play. It was a point awarded for the Huskies. And Coach Welser is being told to sit down by the official. They felt they did enough of an explanation. He'll take his time out now, and I think this is as much to talk to the officials as it is to his own team. Coach Welser very upset right now, and there we see the much happier huddle and Coach Langoff. Although the Vikings are right back in this one. Then we see 22-20. A contested point finally put on the board. And the signal from the officials was a 4-hit violation. And that is what initially sent Coach Welser kind of crazy. And like I said, I believe the timeout was more to talk to the officials than it was his own players. Well, Huskies will come out of the timeout with the serve. 3 points away from taking game number 1. And they'll give it to the captain, Julian Rush. Roosh with the serve. Nice serve. Kind of right between the lines and dropped it kind of short. Well placed. That one played and nice play at the net. Bastinelli. Now within 1 point, she'll serve now, and back in the game, Peyton Husson. So more height subbed in on the front line. A strong serve and pinball action. Trying to keep that one alive, and we're all tied up, 22 apiece. So this is going to be a battle. And especially for the Huskies. The Huskies got to feel like they got to win game 1 here, especially with the start they had. Now all tied up, that lead all but gone. And correction, that lead is gone. Got to rally here. Brenna Murphy. Gonna struggle to get this one over. Plenty of time, set it up. Murphy wants power it over, blocked by Husson at the net. Falco will have a shot this time, gets it over the net. And Peyton Husson once again able to power it down. And now taking the lead are the Vikings. So now we're getting some PHN chants going on. It's good to see the Huskies coming out and representing, especially supporting their girls on senior night. And that was right on the line. That should be marked in. It's right on the line. And Coach Langoff is very upset, and that definitely looked like that ball was in. And we're going to talk to the line judge right now, to the student going the line. That fell right in, and it seemed like it was right on the line, and I think that should be a Husky point. We'll see if we'll correct it here. A lot of times these points don't really matter, but this is a game where every point matters, and that would be a big call against the Huskies. We'll see what the ruling is, and where the point will be awarded to the Huskies. So I believe that was the right call. Good job by the officials to take some time and make sure they got the call right. And now Coach Welser going to be a little upset. Obviously, anytime a call's overturned, a little upset on the play. So now it tied 23 apiece. And that'll bring Brenna Murphy back to serve. Again, these games are win by 2. And we'll get the explanation to Coach Welser through one of his players. That's typically how they do it. So, talking to the players and relaying the information is Velko. And she's talking with the official right now, and the official will relay that to Coach Welser. And officials are, I think, a little upset with how much drama on the court. So all tied up 23. Let the game be drama enough. Nice play by Falco, and that's powered down at the net. And looking at my mixer, I know I just blew the audio levels out of the water there, but huge play for Riley Falco. Picked a perfect spot on the court. And now the Huskies 1 point away from taking game 1. 24-23, they lead. So huge, huge play. Riley Falco And they will have the serve, and they will serve for game number 1. So 24-23 as we see the time on the board just for the timeouts. And we do have a timeout was called by the Huskies, or was called by the Vikings, excuse me. So point for Vikings here, or the Huskies here, takes the game. Point for the Vikings, and we're back to win by 2. Big serve for Murphy. And you gotta believe they got it to who they wanted to. Peyton Husson able to power that down. Murphy trying to get there on the dig. Put a great effort in on it, but unable to get to that ball. Unable to do much with it, I should say. And DeLore now serving 24 apiece. And that's just mishit by Roberts. And now we'll give the Vikings the lead, 25-24. So now, Hannah DeLore will serve for the match, for the game. After this timeout, anyway. And once now this timeout taken by Coach Langoff and the Northern Huskies. So this is going to be a back and forth game. I already tell right now, and it's great to see the students really on both sides really involved in the action. There we see the officials talking to the line judges, and I think they took their time and got the call right, and obviously taking their job very seriously right now. Every point matters in this kind of matchup, so you can understand the coaches really battling for them because they do matter. So 25-24. Vikings now lead. And that's actually the Huskies section chanting the first name of the server for the Vikings, and a serve off the net, making it nearly impossible for the Huskies to get to that. So the Vikings come from behind to take the first game 26-24. We'll be back with game 2 in just a moment here on CPHS 6. And we're back for the second game of tonight's matchup between the Port Huron Northern Huskies and the visiting Marysville Vikings. And if you're the Huskies, you got to be pretty upset as to how that first game ended, having the lead for the majority of the game, the Huskies, and then the Vikings rallying late, pushing into extra points, trying to rebound from that. Definitely a very talented team that the Huskies are playing against, and that one's in. Great strike by Murphy. After sending the initial serve long, redeems herself instantly, and now we'll have the serve go to Brooke Bowerman. Again, senior night, we'll mention them in a little bit. 4 seniors for the Port Huron Northern Huskies. Their last home game, and this one close to that back line, and that one called out of bounds. So slightly long, and we'll send the serve right back over to the Vikings. And Velko. And that one, not sure if it was tapped at the net, and Bowerman was trying to be there, and not sure if Husson got her hand on it. Another point for the Vikings. They now lead 3-1. Again, played best out of 5, so already up in game score. Somehow Huskies able to keep that alive. Kind of pinballed around after powered down by Husson. Great job by the Huskies. Bowerman to Felko. Set it over. Bowerman, Tomlinson. Now to Felko, tries to get in the back corner and inbounds. Great job picking the spot and hitting the mark. It's going to have to be a game about precision. Going to have to hit those exact spots because this Viking team is a very good team. Could be in for a very good matchup tonight. Heidi Wilson with the serve. And barely on the back line. Vikings fans upset. Crowd right next to me, the Husky fans going crazy, all tied back up at 3. Back to Heidi Wilson. That one played a little too far forward. Rankin able to get a hand on it, and Vikings unable to control, unable to recover. Great play by Carmen Rankin. She's going to be one of the players that's going to have to control the net for the Huskies. That's about the size of a couple players for the Vikings. Definitely be a problem. Got a couple players on the Huskies, though. Can definitely go to battle. That one never made it over. And now we see the score there, 5-3, Huskies lead. Hoping Wilson goes on a little bit of a serving run here. Little miscommunication there. Miscommunication smells points for the other team. Pretty much always does, definitely in that situation. Ball right back to Wilson, 6-3, Huskies. Stretching for that one's gonna be tough out of the net. That's the third hit. Husson didn't get much on it. And another point, and it's scary to say this, but Huskies starting off with a pretty big lead, and that's exactly what happened in game 1. Got to sustain it, though. And students going back and forth. Murphy got a hand on that one. But Tomlinson's going to strike it over. A left-handed strike. And miscommunication this time on the Huskies' time. Murphy tried to go down for it. Tomlinson right above her. And it will fall to the ground. Will be a point for the Vikings. And both schools chanting back and forth. And again, we've seen a lot of balls like just be out of bounds on the sideline. Not going deep for the Vikings, but trying to get some angle on it. And great serve by Falco, and Marysville punched it back and just trickled over the net. Tough break after a great serve. The Vikings just barely able to return it. And they do, and anytime it gets caught on that top rim of the net, it's anyone's game. Great play that time by Murphy. Brenna Murphy. Now we'll have Robert sub in to serve. Huskies up 9-5. Again, game 2. Vikings already taking game 1. That one played a little too far forward. Rankin was up there trying to put some pressure on that. This one played up to Murphy, and she struck that one too soon, powering it into the net. So to the Vikings. Bounds will serve. Have to strike from the back row. Falco. Job taking that one up. And that one deflected. And a point for the Huskies, and we're now up 10-6. Whistle there just as they were subbing some players out. Jillian Roosh now serving. That one powered down on the far side by Hannah Delore, and she is only a freshman. Double freshman on this Marysville Viking team. That's very impressive, knowing the history of volleyball that they have. A freshman already making the varsity club. And miscommunication there for the ball initially played by Roberts. Still got the lead, 10-8. Bastinelli serving. tough dealing with that serve and then bouncing off the backboard not once but twice. Couldn't see it in the camera, but bouncing off the backboard and not helping out the Huskies at all. Tough break for the Huskies. Velko actually put a pretty good strike on that ball, try to get it back in the field of play. Once again, bouncing off speakers, Huskies have to adjust again. This time they get it over. Great recovery. Murphy eventually put that one over. Huge block at the net, but out of bounds. Finally got up and challenged Husson and put a good strike on that ball. Unfortunately, just came out of bounds. Score all tied at 10 until after that serve. Getting a little behind myself now. And that serve long. So now the Huskies will regain the lead with Murphy serving 11-10 here in game number 2. Nice low serve. It'll be tough for the Vikings to dig that one out. Velko tried, and right behind her was Curley, unable to do so. So once again, Brenna Murphy. One set over. This played by Rouge. Essentially hit over by Yarger. And just elevating at the net. Peyton Husson, she's just got the huge size advantage, and when she does go to strike that ball down, see the score there, 12-11. Really, the angle she can get on the ball, able to power it almost straight down sometimes, making it pretty much impossible for the dig. And once again, seeing another serve going wide. They're trying to paint the corners for Marysville, trying to be a little bit too precise. And I think it's costing them a little bit on these serves. This low serve into the net, and about time that the Huskies got to break off the net. Got a couple for the Vikings. This time coming for the Huskies. Brooke Bowerman with the serve. Huskies lead 11-14. Another nice low serve. Return, Bowerman comes up to set it. Blocked by Husson. And huge scramble play now. Everyone running all around. And going up big for the block was Felco, and 4-hit violation. Never made it over the net. And another point for the Huskies. Bowerman will serve. Huskies up 15-14. And another nice low serve. And Bowerman has served very well tonight. See the score there, 16-11. Huskies lead, game 2. A line drive by Bowerman. One set up, and then plenty of time. 2 sets for the Huskies. And tapped at the net by Husson. And no one there to back her up, and it will fall over. And we'll have a timeout. So once again, Coach Langhoff got to be pretty happy with his team. Everyone knows that, knowing well that this is a very good Viking team coming in. So Coach Langhoff, again, team up 17-11 here in game number 2. Unfortunately, that was somewhat the case in game 1. But they got ahead early. Vikings more than capable of coming back. Right now, we'll see if they can keep this run going. Bowerman again to serve. She served exceptionally well. This time put a little more loft on it. Set up at the net, poked over, and not power this time, but Peyton Husson still gets it done at the net. Point for the Vikings. Bows, or excuse me, that is Velco serving for Marysville. A miscommunication diving around. Tomlinson originally hit it, and then Yarger laid out trying to get it. And it might be one of those times where it's actually, volume's usually not this loud in this gym. Great job poking that one up in the air. Tomlinson tried to get it over, unable to on the third strike, and it's gonna be a 4-hit violation. Good job by Roosh just keeping that one alive, trying to give the Huskies an opportunity. So again, Velko with the serve. Velko played that one up pretty far, deflected, nice set by Roosh. Now Velko's gonna have a strike, deflected as a net. And dropped in, and they're gonna say they kept that alive. Play still going. Great dig, and missed that play and eventually fall in the corner, just slightly out of bounds. Just missed that one. Huskies doing a great job trying to keep every ball alive. Vikings within 2. Huskies lead 17-15. Short serve. This one's got to go over. Julian Roosh, nice play there. Going to get that serve. And a legal hit. We'll give the point back to the Huskies. And we'll get substitutions for both teams, and we'll have Heidi Wilson subbing in to serve. So Huskies are up 18-15. Game 2, Heidi Wilson. Going up, powering it down. Brenna Murphy. And the Vikings unable to play it. 19-15 now. This one low, maybe a tough one for us. A nice dig by Murphy. This one set up by Rankin. Keeping that one alive was Wilson. Not sure if it's going to go out of bounds. Great slide to get to it. Deflected at the net. Going up was Tomlinson and Rankin. Got a piece of it, but not enough to send it back. Will fall down their own side, be a point for the Vikings. So now it will be Hall to serve. Arm at that. Rankin with a nice set over there. And that one powered down in the back corner. Allie Bastinelli. Other player we're seeing on that front line. And Hassan's out. And they're going through the rotation, so keeping people fresh, moving people around, and always having some height on that front line. And that one just barely caught the line. That one was very close. Another point for the Vikings, though. So Hall serving now, trying to tie this one up at 19. Huskies still lead. His power-up play by Rankin, but Matt Bastinelli. And a big block there, and we're all tied up at 19. So once again, we're seeing the resilience of this Viking team coming back despite early deficits. And timeout for Coach Langhoff as he wants to talk this over. So basically reset the scoreboard. There we see the Viking student section that came out. Again, most of them wearing jerseys. Definitely making a lot of noise tonight. Got the Northern student section on this side. They've been battling just as much as teams have been on the court. Back to the action now. Tomlinson. Vikings got to hold that one at the net. couldn't send it back, fell down their own side. Point for the Huskies, they take the lead. 20-19, and they'll bring Falco back. Tough ball for the Vikings, giving them plenty of time for the Huskies to set up. Get to Murphy on the near side, and Murphy again able to put a good strike on it. Nothing the Vikings could really do. Brenna Murphy and the seniors coming up big on senior night. And you got to think that would be even a bigger win for the seniors. It's a very good opponent. Senior night, want to play well, crowds into it. Powered down far side. Point goes back to the Vikings. It's not going to come easy. But good to see all the seniors playing well tonight. Both teams are playing well. That's why we're in the situation we're in. Morgan now serving. Set up for Murphy again. This time put a little touch in. And unable to play that one. Another point for the Huskies, 22-20. 3 points away from taking game 2. Huskies do not want to let this one slip away like game number 1. Led for the majority of it. Great job keeping that one alive by Jillian Roosh. But powered down by Bastinelli. So back to a 1-point game. Bounds serving. And that one in. We're back tied, 22. Game number 2. Again, the Vikings taking the first one, 26-24, and needed extra points to finish that one. Games are up to 25. Win by 2. That one off the side. Miss hit by Roosh. And the Vikings take the lead, 23-22. And we'll have another timeout, and then we see the happier huddle of the two now. Ryan Welser, head coach. And you gotta give credit to them. They really rallied in game number 1. Come back and see the victory there. And then we see on this side of the crowd, same side by me, and we see the Port Huron Northern student section. And they've been battling back and forth. Like I said, the student section have been battling the Marysville student section. And it's been back and forth, just like on the court. So we'll come out of the timeout. It will be bounce serve. 2 points away from a Viking victory now. And gonna get an illegal hit on Bowerman. And now 24-22 Vikings lead. And that one miss hit by Falco. And that's gonna give the Vikings game 2, 25-22. Vikings rally once again to take game number 2. We'll be back with game 3 in just a moment here on CPHS 6. And back for game number 3. And again, the Huskies have to be disappointed after dropping another game that they led for the majority of it in. So fighting to keep themselves alive now here in game number 3. We'll start off with a serve by Bastinelli for the Vikings. And that one in on the back line. And a big point for the Vikings to start game number 3. Again, this would be the game clinching. This would be the match clinching game for the Vikings if they are to win this one. Huskies still have a lot of fight in them though. Bowerman with the set going up. Brennan Murphy, smart touch on the play. So tied at 1 apiece. Game 3, again, senior night. Hopefully get a chance to talk about the seniors here in just a minute. And serve short into the net. Huskies have 4 seniors that they honored tonight with nice little pregame festivities. Last time the seniors will have a home game here at Northern, wrapping up their volleyball career. Some of them anyway. Good to recognize them. All of them playing well tonight. Both teams really are. That's a great matchup that we have. One of them on the far side there, and Lindsay Yarger. Big play there. And all tied at 2. Brooke Bowerman will serve. Seeing her serve well today. Nice low line drive and nothing they could do. Marysville diving for it, but great serve. And Bowerman continues to excel serving. A lot of velocity on that ball. Rouge. It's up to Murphy, and eventually over, and tried to power it down again. Husson. Again, not much you can do when she is set up like that at the net. All tied up at 3. Velko now serving. Again, taking a little bit of an angled approach. That serve short into the net. We'll send it right back to the Huskies. Now Heidi Wilson will serve. Coach Langoff talking to Jillian Roosh on the sideline. Powered down. She's so tall, when she elevates, still has so much room to work with. So many angles in which she can strike the ball down, and definitely making the most of her abilities. Playing very well, all tied up at 4-4. Here, game number 3. Hall will now serve for the Vikings. Murphy, Bowerman, set up to Felco. That's a play they like to set up. And we're getting a legal, or a 2-hit violation against the Vikings. And point for the Huskies. Felco now serving. That one sent back a little bit. Rankin, and 2-hit violation. Tried to block it and then backed up and tried to set it. And we're going to have a little conversation now between the coach, between Tim Langoff. Murphy will act as the go-between. I think he's going to say that Rankin first strike was a block attempt. Then she'd be able to legally hit the next ball. And Coach Langoff pleading his case, but the officials have been pretty steadfast in their decisions tonight. Only overturned 1, although there's been quite a bit of talk from both coaches. Jillian Roosh gonna have a really tough time to get that one over. And now the Vikings lead 6-5. Morgan serving. Roosh, Bowerman sets it over, and we're gonna have a net violation on Bowerman. Got too close there. And for the first time in all 3 games, we're actually seeing the Vikings take the lead early. Another net serve. Not a ton that the Huskies could really do about it. And now we'll have a timeout. So there we see, again, Coach Welser, assistant coach Stephanie Denardin. And we see the score there. The Vikings lead 8-5. Talked about it a couple times. Senior night for the Huskies today. Got 4 seniors playing the last home game. Number 4, Lindsey Yarger. Number 9, Brenna Murphy. Number 10, Haley Roberts. And number 13, Riley Felco. So we wish the seniors all the best. Mentioned them playing well in this game, and I'm sure a lot of them will be playing some volleyball down the road. A very talented senior class that is leaving. That one out of bounds. Nice strike by Murphy just off the mark. Point for the Vikings. Tomlinson trying to take that one out, and then after Roosh got to it. And the Huskies now down 5. Vikings lead 10-5. Game 3, Vikings looking to make it a sweep. And again, this is the first game that the Huskies have really not come out with a hot hand. And able to keep that one. No, missed that, which was out of bounds. And very close to the out of bounds stick there. And Langoff will be upset about the call. Looks like Tomlinson, at first look, I thought actually kept it in bounds. But it will be a point for the Vikings. Murphy with a great strike. That ball just kind of popped up. Not really the play they had drawn up. A great job by the senior adapting, and a nice strike on the ball. We'll get the serve back. Hand it off to fellow senior Haley Roberts. Deflected at the net. Bowerman's gonna back up. Now Roberts plays it over. Set up play at the net. Popped up. Murphy's gonna keep it alive after Felco touches it. Eventually over by Roberts. And look for the Huskies to play the net a little bit more like they are right now, especially with Murphy. There's Rankin now doing it. That one out of bounds, but another point for the Vikings. But actually, it was the first time we've seen the Vikings without, unable to handle that serve. The first time we've seen the Vikings without Husson or Bastinelli. So actually using a shorter line right now. Shorter lineup. And Huskies trying to take advantage of it, but Vikings still playing very sound volleyball. So 13-6, we see the score there. As we have once again, another timeout. And this has got to be a very tough game for Coach Langoff, because he's seen how well his team has played to start games number 1 and 2. Again, know that this is a very good opponent. But if you're the Huskies, you got to feel like you can compete with them. Definitely have the talent to. And pulling away in both games, 1 and 2. But with the Vikings rallying to win both, that's a heartbreaker. And Huskies starting to pull away in game 3, trying to win it 3 straight. Winning it 3 straight wouldn't definitely do justice to how competitive this matchup has been. A 2-hit violation is going to be a point for the Huskies, and maybe they can get something going now. Jillian Roosh will serve. Also sub in Yarger. That serve out, so unable to take advantage of the serve. Serve a little long, and Huskies has got to keep up morale now. And gonna have trouble controlling the net because both Bastinelli and Husson are back in the game. But once again, got to be guarded around the net. Or you just go up with enough power like that. Great play by Brenna Murphy. And she will now serve. And trust me, the players are mindful of who's out on that court. Great dig by Murphy, but had so much power into it, unable to really control it, launched it near the scorer's table. Once again, powered down by Marysville. They now lead 15-8. Delore serving. This one's got to be played over. Nice job by Murphy to get it over. And this time Husson a little off the mark. And into the net. Once again, the Huskies will give the ball to Bowerman. Definitely need a little bit of a run now. Won't wait till later in this game. She's been hitting those low line drive serves. That's been an issue for the Vikings deal with all day. That one punched over. Set up for Husson. I don't know if that ever made over. They're going to say it's deflected by Northern. Touch on it. Great job, Bowerman coming up for that one. Felko with a strike. Sent back by Murphy. This one's got to get over, and a 4-hit violation. Thought that was only 3, and Coach Langoff was upset. Ball was bouncing around a little bit. And again, chanting from the Vikings sideline. They lead 16-9. A strike by Felko. Good job getting that ball by Velko. Great dig by Murphy. And then able to keep it alive somehow with the Vikings. As Felko punched it over after the dig by Murphy. Rankin keeping it alive when Felko goes up with a big block. And that's got Northern on their feet, and that's the kind of block that might get some energy back into this team, and that's what they need right now. They need something to get excited about. Great block by Riley Felko. Good job keeping someone back. Again, Felko with the strike. Murphy to Bowerman. Fed up to Felko again, and that one sails long. Again, a little bit of relief for the Huskies as Marysville has a little bit of a shorter unit out there right now. Definitely going to try to take control of the net a little bit more. Tomlinson goes up with a strike. Great job by Jillian Rubish to get to that ball. A little miscommunication there. Murphy waved off Felko. Great job by Rush. And then Tomlinson going up strong. She disguised that play very well. Looked like she was going to set it, and I don't think the Vikings were ready for it. Got a great strike on that ball. Great play by Tomlinson. Now Felko serving. Huskies are only down 6. They're still in this one. And touched at the net by the Vikings. Once again, first time it was Miller, Samantha Miller. Great dig to keep that one alive. Vikings and played forward. The Huskies unable to control it. Vikings lead 18-11. Rush Bowerman scrambling around a little bit. He even hit Murphy a little bit when she was going to strike that ball. That one, and it was gonna land out. That is a tough break for the Huskies. Well aware that that ball was gonna land out. Tried to duck down and unfortunately landed right on Rush's back. Just a really unfortunate play And now leading 19-11 here in game 3 are the Vikings. Great dig by Murphy to keep that one alive, and then deflected at the net by Rankin and Murphy. As I believe it was Velko who got the strike on that. And now 5 points away from victory. Trying to build some momentum. Huskies aren't giving up yet. Roberts now serving. Near side, never got it over. Hannah Delore with the strike. Huskies down 7. Tried to set that one over. Instead gave Huskies plenty of time to set up. Rankin this time. Touch at the net. And Rankin comes down with a point. And we'll have a substitution for the Vikings and subbing again some height on that front line as we see Allie Bastinelli subbed in. And first play right to her. DeFalco now to Murphy. Deflected at the net. Murphy got a hand on it, and Falco was right behind her. Probably had a better strike, but still a tough ball to play. And now leading 21-14. The Vikings in game 3. Falco goes down to get that one. Bowerman pops that one up at the net. Murphy punches it over. And Bastinelli airs for that one at the net and powers it down. (22-14). Vikings lead. Bounce with the serve, played by Rush and Bowerman. And up to Murphy. Got power on that side too. Once again, Brenna Murphy. And she's having a great game. 22-15, Vikings lead, game 3. Again, Vikings taking the first two, 26-24 and 25-22. They've been back and forth games. That one into the net, Yarger on the far side. And now that serve short. 2 points away from victory and gonna get a line foul, I believe. And that will make it 24-15, so game point. And now the teams battling. Points already been whistled dead. Players continue to play it. But 1 point away. (24-16), Vikings lead. Brenna Murphy. Again, one of the seniors on senior nights. Gonna need a little senior magic to keep in this one. Nice serve there. Curley unable to handle that one. For the Huskies, just got to play mistake-free now. And that serve long. So that will do it for tonight's matchup. The Marysville Vikings beat the Port Huron Northern Huskies 3 games to 0. Game score 26-24, 25-22, and 25-16. Marysville win 3 straight. We'd like to thank you all for joining us here on CPHS 6. For a great game of volleyball here. Thank you. Good night.